So a Nigerian man on Twitter has finally realized that he's better off alone after spending over 100,000 naira on a date. 100,000 naira just for food and transportation on a date. And now you're saying you're better off alone. How? Whose fault is it? Were you forced to spend that money? Any man that goes through this has no one else to blame but himself. You see these things, they act it on Nigerian skits and you think it is a joke. You think by now these men would have learned their lessons, but apparently not. They have not learned their lessons. They haven't learned their lessons up till now. Were you forced to spend that money? Were you forced to take her out on a date? A place where you have to spend that kind of money? Over 100k on food and transportation alone. For what? At the end of the day, you come and bash women, you come and blame them for something like this. This man obviously brought this upon himself. He says a man has taken to X to share a costly, disappointing first date experience, revealing that he spent over 100,000 naira on food and transportation, only for the relationship to fizzle out immediately afterward. In his post, he explained that he went on a first date where he spent 109,000 naira on food and an additional 18,000 naira on a boat ride. Despite the grand gesture, the connection did not last. He recounted some of the frustrations from the date, saying that they first ordered food worth 90,000 naira which they couldn't finish. 90,000 naira, you guys gluttons. She a glutton, are you a glutton? Why are you spending 90,000 naira on food alone? Why are you going to a place where you have to spend 90,000 naira on food for just 2 people? Inflation in Nigeria is not that bad. It's not possible. Mega Chicken Republic, there's no way 2 people will still 10,000, high years 15k will still be enough for 2 persons for a meal. So why are you spending 90,000 naira for food? Only for her to order more stuff, then pack the whole food, the leftovers and the newly ordered ones home without asking if he cared for any. It's typical of most Nigerian ladies. They are like that. And you cannot blame them. You may see them and you go for them. You see the ones that are not like that, you ignore them and you go for these ones. And you start complaining, you start crying. For what? For what? How can you come out now and see you realize you're better off alone? Whose fault is it? Okay, you realize the kind of person you're going on a date with. Instead of setting boundaries, taking her to a place that you can comfortably afford, you take her to a lavish place to show off for what? You need to come out and cry and still blame the same women for something you brought upon yourself. Reflecting on the experience, he advised caution for further dates, for future dates, promising never to involve himself in such again. No, you should not involve yourself with such women again, not in dates again. It is not the fault of the woman, it is your fault, because you guys usually see this sign. You're not blind. You must have seen the signs. Okay, even though you misread the signs, you took her on a date to a place. You want to take her on a date, why must you take her to a place that you cannot comfortably afford? The place where you have to spend 90k for just 2 people to buy food. Okay, now you have bought the food. Why are you allowing her to buy extra again? Why don't you open your mouth and tell her that you don't have, that this one she's buying is not within your budget, that you cannot afford it? You open your mouth and tell her. You saw the kind of person she is. You ignored that and went on a date with her. You saw the kind of place she wants you to take her to. Or maybe you're even the one that suggested this place that is very expensive. You took her there. She's buying food that you cannot afford. You still kept quiet and allowed her to order those food. Only for you now. You kept quiet in all of this. And now you're coming online to cry, to blame women and to say, oh, you're better off alone. How? Reflecting on the experience, he advised caution for future dates, promising never to involve himself in such again. Foul. He concluded his post with a blunt takeaway, saying he thinks he's better off alone because he's tired of meeting funny people. No, guy, you are the funny one. You are the ridiculous clown here. The post has since resonated with many online, sparking conversations about first dates, expectations, and the modern dating experience. His tweet read, went on a date 2 weeks ago, food 109k, boat 18k. Now we aren't talking anymore. Okay. You should have continued spending. Then you would have continued talking. Obviously, you showed her that you cannot continue with the spending. That is why the dates ended. That is why you guys are obviously not in talking terms anymore. You were trying to impress her. Probably she was not that into it. in the first place to begin with, and you felt you could win her over by impressing her by taking her on a lavish date to spend money that you don't have. If you aren't going on a walk or to a restaurant, I recommend, and you recommend more expensive ones, I'll ghost you from there. Okay, apparently since she's the one that suggested this place, so why didn't you say no? Why good over Sebi? Why are you trying to show yourself? Or are you trying to impress her? Or to impress anybody for that matter? You ghost her from, why didn't you ghost her from the beginning? Why now? First, ordered food of 90k which we couldn't finish. Only for her to order more stuff. Then they packed the rest of the food and she took it all without asking if I cared for any. NGL, I am better off alone. Tired of meeting funny people. No, Oga, you are the funny, ridiculous clown here. Yes. You have to change your ways. Otherwise, you continue to meet funny people and you continue to cry, and nothing will change until you change. You are the one that needs to change your ways.